chances are you don't really think much about the sidewalk you walk on every day. I mean, why would you? It's just there. But what if I told you that for one city, that simple strip of concrete is actually at the heart of a massive, super ambitious vision for its future? This is the story of how a simple footpath becomes an economic powerhouse. Let's get into it.
All right, first things first, let's get our terms straight. We're talking about something called non-motorized transport, or NMT for short. And all that really means is surfaced sidewalks, footpaths, and dedicated cycling lanes. Basically, any safe, properly built path for people moving under their own steam. And as you're about to see, this is way more than just pouring concrete. It is a very, very deliberate strategy.
Okay, so how exactly does a humble path turn into something so important? Well, this is where we zoom in on the first part of the strategy, its role as a local economic engine.
And listen to this. This is a direct quote from the city's own plans. They call it a catalyst for a productive local economy. Now, the wording here is so important. They don't see these paths as just an expense, a nice thing to have. No way. They see them as a catalyst, the spark that's going to ignite the local economy. This isn't a cost, it's a full-on investment.
So how does that catalyst actually work? Well, when the city builds these paths, they're doing a lot more than just helping you get from point A to point B. I mean, for one, it just makes being in a neighborhood a better experience, right? And that helps stabilize the area. Plus, you're building a sustainable transport system that gives everyone, and this is key, safe and affordable ways to get around.
Okay, but we're not just talking about a few local projects here and there. The real story, the thing that makes this so mind-blowing, is the scale of this ambition. The city is taking this local-level idea and, well, they're blowing it up into a massive citywide mission.
So, just how big are we talking here? I mean, what does massive actually look like? Get ready for this, because the numbers are pretty wild.
Okay, take a look at this. Back in the 2021/22 period, the city built just over 22 kilometers of these paths. Not bad, right? Well, just watch this. The target for 2024/25, it jumps to 80 kilometers. And then, the very next year, it almost doubles again to a staggering 140 kilometers. You can just see the leap on this chart. It's huge. Let's put a single number on that growth, just to really let it sink in. We are talking about a planned 525% increase from where they started. Let me say that again, 525%. That's not just a small improvement. That is a complete, fundamental shift in the city's priorities. All right, so when you see a number like 525%, you have to ask, okay, where does this fit in with everything else? Because a plan this big can't just be a side project. And you'd be right, it's a key piece of a much bigger puzzle, the entire urban infrastructure system. You see, these sidewalks and bike lanes aren't just off on their own. They are directly, strategically linked to the city's bigger fight against traffic jams. Think about it. By giving people a safe and real alternative to driving, these paths actually help relieve congestion. They free up the roads for everyone else. It's like a 1-2 punch against traffic.
And this really gives you the full picture. See, NMT construction isn't some separate feel-good project. It's a core metric, right up there with the big stuff. It's tracked alongside major congestion projects, road resurfacing, how they're grading dirt roads, even how many pothole complaints they're fixing. It's treated as a fundamental part of what makes a road good. Now, this slide, this one might be the most telling of all. This is where the rubber meets the road, literally. The city was facing real-world budget problems. The cost of bitumen, which is what you use for roads, went way up. So they had to make some tough calls. They actually had to adjust their targets for road resurfacing. But what about the targets for the walking and cycling paths? Untouched. They remained exactly the same. That single decision tells you everything you need to know about how important this program is to them.
Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. You've got the local economic vision, the absolutely massive scaling, and this clear strategic priority. What does it all add up to? What's the end game here? Where's this road headed?
And here it is. The whole point, the ultimate goal, is to build an efficient, multimodal transport system. That's a system where people have real choices. You can walk, you can cycle, you can drive, you can take public transport. And by creating that kind of flexibility, the city makes itself stronger. It becomes less vulnerable to economic shocks, like, say, a sudden spike in fuel prices. It's all about building resilience, right from the ground up, starting with the sidewalk.
And that brings us right back to where we started, with a final, powerful question. It all began with a simple path, right? Just a sidewalk. But after seeing the incredible scale, the deep strategy, and the huge vision behind it, you just have to wonder, Can the simplest path really build the strongest future? Looking at this plan, it's hard not to think the answer is a huge, resounding yes.